I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, not likely.
Alright, well first before we start pressing it in with that C-clamp, we're gonna get it inserted and started. You want to get it started as straight as possible. So basically you get your bushing in, you just slip it in, get it in as straight as possible. You press on it a little bit. And we're going to take this because it fits perfectly around. You're not hitting any of the rubber. You want to hit it on the flange. Whenever you press on it or hit it, I'm going to put this on the vise. Basically, we're just getting this outside lip right here, and we're just going to sit it on the vise like such, so it'll have some force behind it. And we're just going to tap it a few times with a hammer just to get it started. See, now I can't pull it out. So we got a decent start on it, and now we're going to press it in the rest of the way. One other thing I forgot to mention is you're going to want to grease that bushing a little bit. You can grease this. You can slap a little bit of grease on the inside here to help it slide in. And same thing around the bushing. So we'll move y'all back over here. Get you set up here so you can see. There we go. Now, we're basically, let me move the ball joint out of the way. We're going to be doing the ball joint as well, but a little later. Grab my tool that's going to be resting on this outside. This is going to be on the inside. And this just has a little ball socket. Snaps onto here as such. Back this out a little bit. Let me get my tool in here. There we go, we got that side. Now we just close this up. I'm going to put a little screwdriver under this clamp just to lift it up a little bit so I can keep it all nice and squared up. Okay, now we got a little tension on it. Now you're going to take your 7/8. This happens to be a 7/8 end. Then you're just going to start squeezing it home. So this will push in on it, and it'll allow this bushing to go through this receiving tube. And you want to get it all the way until that flange is up against the control arm itself. I can see it's going in nice and straight. I'll go ahead and show you a little here of what it looks like. You want this to be around the control arm as much as possible so she doesn't slip, but there's what it looks like on the inside, and you can see we're nice and square here and square all the way around, so it's not going in crooked whatsoever, and it's already gone in a good little portion, but we got about a 1/4 inch more to go. So we're going to continue on. I'll try to Turn it sideways so y'all can see right here. This little gap in here, we're going to close that until that edge is up against the control arm. You can see it going in. I'll try to zoom y'all in so you get a better view of it actually going in. Maybe, sorry about the shaking. Alright, I think y'all can see that now. You'll be able to see this gap right here closing up. And I don't have I'm just using a regular half-inch drive ratchet. I don't have no breaker bar or nothing. It's going in pretty easy. Nice and straight. No beating on it. I didn't even put this in the freezer. A lot of times they'll give you a little tip, you know, like put your bushing and let it sit for a couple hours in the freezer. It should help you get it in or nothing. I didn't do any of that. I took it out of the plastic. We slapped it in. No problem. And we were there. Bushing is all the way up against the control arm. Nice and straight. Now I can back it out. Take our tool off. And that's the easiest way to do your control arm bushings. There we go. Bushing in it is in all the way. I'll pull y'all up back a little bit now so you can see the wider angle of everything. Okay, the bushing is in flush all the way up against the control arm. Rubber was never touched, so everything's looking great. And we are in. Now we can take our, I'll flip it over here. Now we can take our shaft. Make sure y'all are still in view of everything. Now we can take our shaft and slide it into this other side and get it going like such. And it just pushes all the way in. Then we can take our other, that's not our bushing, our other bushing, which I moved over here. Take our other bushing. We'll lube it up here with a little bit of grease and we'll get ready to slide it in. So let me grab my grease, which I had moved. I'm gonna dab a little thin light layer on it. Okay, good enough. I'll put our grease to the side. And then we can go ahead and start this. Okay, got it started. And you can see how we got it started a little bit. It's nice and straight. So on this side, you won't be able to use this because your shaft's in the way. But this, however, will fit around that bushing to allow it to slide through. And then you just got to find something to put on here to press that up against there. So I'm going to grab something to where I can use it. So you could use all kinds of stuff. I could even use this washer and nut just to press it in. Then you're going to be taking this end and pressing it in. So just to show you that it would work, let's try that. Put this over the ball joint. Bring this in a little bit. Put our nut and washer in there. Get it all squared up. The key to this is just have everything lined up the best you can, square as you can. And then I can show you what we got here. I'll bring you around. So basically, this is our bushing. We're going to press it in. We're using this as well as that washer and nut, which is one piece. This washer and nut's like banded together. There's so much more you could use in this. I'm just showing you could use pretty much anything. On this side, we've got our C-clamp that's open, and you can see it's not hitting that bushing whatsoever. It fits around it to allow that bushing to come through. So it should be no problem. Get you set back up. Get our socket on there. And we'll start pressing this sucker in. Now she's going in. Something else I gotta tell you, on this bushing, you gotta be careful with your bushings. Like this bushing was flat and smooth all the way around. This bushing has these little edges, these little slopes on it. So I'm only gonna be able to push it in. Let me grab this. I'm gonna only, and that goes all the way around. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So I'm only gonna be able to push it into the edge of that slope up against this control arm, and that's where we'll have to stop. It will not go all the way up to this edge of the wall, the side wall. Okay, I think that'll be the best view for you. This one's a little different. But she is going in nice and straight. And we're just doing this with a washer and a nut here that I just found in my box real quick. We're almost there. Alright, one more turn. Alright. Bring you in. Zoom it in a little bit for you guys. Come on, focus camera. Okay, so right here, we're up against this flange is hitting the control arm now. That little hump, that ridge, whatever you want to call it. And our bushing is all the way up against the shaft, the end of the shaft. So we are maxed in as far as this bushing is supposed to be going in. And that is it. So both bushings are now in. I'm going to give it a half a turn. I don't think I'll even be able to get that because we're already pretty much maxed out. We'll try to crank on it just a hair more. Oh yeah, she's in all the way. So now I can back this out and our bushings are installed. Okay. Okay, that's all I used right there. A little washer nut to put on here on the end and cap it off. So there's our tool. You can inspect rubber around here, perfect condition, never got hit, tore up or nothing. And our bushing here is all the way up into the shaft as far as this she'll go. As well, we've maxed out this bushing to those little raised spots all the way around, so it's nice and square.